I moved into my new apartment a few months ago. It was a cozy place, perfect for a fresh start. The first few weeks were uneventful, just the usual settling in. But then, strange things started happening. It began with whispers. At first, I thought it was just my imagination. Late at night, when everything was quiet, I would hear faint murmurs. They were too soft to understand, but they were there. I brushed it off, thinking it was just the old pipes or the wind. One night, I was lying in bed, trying to fall asleep. The whispers started again, but this time, they were louder. I sat up, straining to hear. The voices seemed to be coming from the walls. I felt a chill run down my spine. I told myself it was just my mind playing tricks on me. The next day, I mentioned it to my neighbor, Mrs. Thompson. She was an elderly lady who had lived in the building for decades. She gave me a strange look and said, "You're not the first to hear them, dear. This building has a history." Curiosity got the better of me, and I started researching the building's past. I found out that a family had lived here many years ago. They had a daughter who went missing under mysterious circumstances. The case was never solved, and the family moved away, leaving the apartment vacant for years. The more I learned, the more the whispers seemed to intensify. They were no longer just whispers, they were cries for help. I could hear a young girl's voice, pleading for someone to find her. It was haunting. One night, I decided to follow the voices. They led me to a small, hidden door in the basement. I had never noticed it before. With trembling hands, I opened the door and found a narrow staircase leading down into darkness. I hesitated, but the cries grew louder, more desperate. I took a deep breath and descended the stairs. The air grew colder with each step. At the bottom, I found a small, dusty room. In the corner, there was a pile of old, forgotten toys. As I approached, I saw something that made my blood run cold. There, among the toys, was a small, tattered diary. I picked it up and started reading. It belonged to the missing girl. Her last entry was a plea for help, written in shaky handwriting. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind me. The whispers turned into screams. I was trapped. Panic set in. As I realized I wasn't alone, shadows moved in the corners of the room, and I could feel a presence closing in on me. I don't remember how I got out. The next thing I knew, I was back in my apartment, the diary clutched in my hands. The whispers had stopped, but the feeling of being watched never left me. I moved out the next day, leaving everything behind. I couldn't stay in that place any longer, but even now, in my new home, I sometimes hear faint whispers at night, and I know, deep down, that the shadows are still watching.